All right, Thailand, and then San Francisco, and then Brazil. Okay. All right, and this leader has led our Thailand team the last 2 years, and this is, I think, our third year, yeah, to Thailand, right? So it's not just a hit and run thing. We've been following up with Thailand and everything, and we're going back to Thailand to the same ministries and same people. And so, would you give a welcome to Pastor Aaron? Woo-hoo!
Okay, so I was asked to do a 3-minute thing about Thailand, and I don't think I need that much, but I have asked Amy to put out some pictures just to remind you what we have done. So praise God, you know, this is our third time going there. If you can take a look, we have, I just picked out random pictures, by the way, because we have so many things we can show. So, Pastor Terry did mention about children ministry, and that's true. And if you remember, we're not there just for the children. We actually minister to different ages as well, and even Bible college, Bible student, and Bible school students, and all that. So it's very challenging and very rewarding, because we're not there just to bring toys. We're not there just to bring games and all that. I think our strength, the strength of our team, is the spiritual portion of it. We go and we pray. We go and we minister. And even last year, we prayed for the baptism in the Holy Spirit. And God just moved mightily. And so I believe that God wants us to go, not just to play with the kids, not just to visit different churches, but to bring hope and bring the gospel, bring the power of God to Thailand. So I want to challenge you. If you're thinking about going, if you're not sure, you should go. Yes, Crystal, you heard that. Yes, that was for you, Crystal. And it's okay to go on multiple trips, by the way. Okay, just to let you know, it's okay to go on multiple ones. So it's fine. You're not sinning against God. Well, let's talk about that later. Yes. But I also want to point out, you know, in the past 2 years, the travel had been quite a lot. I would say that, you know, because we've visited Thailand, and then we normally go to another place. This year, just to cut it down, to make it a little easier, we're gonna stay in Thailand a little longer, but we're gonna just go to Thailand and come back. So in terms of traveling, in terms of whether you can handle it, it would be easier, I think. Now, one of the benefits of going to is to see the church that we supported and we built. I would love to go and see how they're doing, and to be able to minister there as well. So I want to just invite all of you guys, if you're thinking, please go, because God can use you, and I could use you. Okay?
Thank you, Pastor Aaron. Next, we have our Brazil team leader, all right? And she's been there for over a long term, for over a year or so. And would you welcome our soon-to-be Reverend, yeah? Soon-to-be Reverend Crystal Zhang, yeah! Woo-hoo.
Thank you. So it's been about 6 years since I first left Brazil. And so I want to just show a video from the people that are there, or Angelo specifically. So if you can pull that up, and I'll have him sell this wonderful mission trip to us all. It's on the YouTube. Well, I guess before, as they're pulling that up, I remember when I was in Brazil, and I was talking to one of the girls there, one of the disciples, and I was telling her about Heidi Baker. How many of you guys know Heidi Baker? Yeah, she's this amazing woman of God. God really works through her, to raise people from the dead and heal the blind and the deaf, and just someone who really loves God and loves people. And that's like who I think of when I think of someone who passionately follows Jesus. So I was describing Heidi Baker to this girl, and she said, "Oh, so like you?" And I was just taken aback because I wouldn't compare myself to Heidi Baker or really anyone at that caliber. But it was such an eye-opening moment for me because we truly represent Christ. And to her, this new convert at the time, she saw that. She saw Jesus. And so in any missions trip we go to, we are a representation of Christ to them. So here's Angelo.
Hi, Calvary family. This is Angelo. I'm here in Mohinhos, Ceará. As you can see, I am on the highest point of the city right now. We have a river, we have a bunch of houses, and this is Brazil. This is our Ceará. And I just wanted to inform you guys that we have a lot of ministries that you guys can participate in. We have some things about Talmud. Talmud is a elementary school that we have with the kids from around 8 to 12 years old. We teach them English, Bible, science. So we have the Talmud ministry. We have lots of children, lots of youth programs. We have Straight Up Brazil. So if you like working with youth, soccer, you can help out with that. Also, I just want to inform you guys that if you preach, if you sing, if you like to dance, you have a lot of opportunities to do that. You can preach in different cities, in Itarema, in Antonina, in Mohinhos. You can preach, you can sing, you can dance, do a lot of good things for God. Also, we have a lot of cell groups. So in the cell groups, we pray for people, healings happen. If you like to cast out demons, Pastor Dora will teach you how to do some karate, take down demons, Also, we have our construction. If you are a guy, you like to do heavy, hard working stuff, you like to just get your hands dirty, we have the construction site. You can help out paint, you can help out breaking things, building things. So we have the construction in Mohinhos as well. And we also have, at the end of the trip in Brazil, we have a lot of churrasco, Brazilian barbecue. If you really like to eat, we have shrimp, lobster, Brazilian barbecue. We have the best beaches in the world. So if you like to do missions, you like to travel, you like to see the world, and you want to preach the gospel, come to Brazil. You're welcome here. Pastor Dora, me, and the family, we're here to just embrace you and just receive you. So God bless and have a great training. Peace out.
So, yeah, if you come to Brazil, you get to help out our awesome team that's been there and work with Angelo. He put this together last minute for me just yesterday. So grateful for that. But, yeah, come to Brazil.
All right. Now, if you see on the brochure, it says Brazil/Amazon or the other way around. Okay. Here's the option is that you can go, when we see Brazil, we mean in this area that you see. Okay, that's where we have been now for almost 7 years, and that's where our church building is. Okay, it's gorgeous, really, and of course, members of the Chinese congregation, you just donated to help us finish off the second floor. But the sanctuary is beautiful. The lobby area has made me covetous because I wish that we had a lobby like theirs. I mean, their lobby is like the size of our sanctuary, And so when we rebuild this church, we're going to have that too, okay? But you get to serve in all of that, and it's exciting, okay? Now, that's the Brazil part, okay? Now, Amazon is part of Brazil, but it's actually it intersects with 2 other countries. So if you can put up my presentation now, Amy, or whoever, throw mine up. Okay, so yeah, one option is to go to Brazil only. A second option is go to Amazon only. Okay, so this is I should have shown another slide. Okay, this is one slice of Brazil. Brazil if you look at the map, it covers almost like half of South America. Okay, it's the biggest country in South America. Okay, so this is actually the northwest tip of Brazil, and that's where the Amazon is. But if you see this color, this part is Brazil. Here is Peru, and that's Colombia. The Amazon River intersects. You see where the arrows are? Intersects right there, and that's where Angelo actually was there with he's leading an Amazon team with people from Mohinhos and that area. Okay, so from our church that we originally planted, they're there now. And so in the Amazon, you would fly probably through Bogota, Colombia, and then from there you fly down, because that's how I did it last year. Okay, and actually that area is kind of a touristy Waikiki type area. That's where Colombians and people in Peru, what do you call them? Peruvians? Peruvians, that's right. Peruvians, okay, that's where they vacation. They go there, okay? And that's where our church plant is going on right there, okay? So that's where the Amazon River intersects those three countries. So next slide. So that's part of the Amazon River, okay? You can see it's kind of narrow here, but at its widest point is 1,200 miles wide. The widest point of the Amazon, because it's the second longest river in the world. It's the largest river in the world. Okay? Second longest, but largest, because when you have a width of 1,200 miles, you can imagine how much water there is. Okay, but that's one part of it, and that's Pastor Doris just walking here. Okay, and so what we're doing now is we're getting into a boat to cross from. In this picture, we were in Colombia. We're going to cross over to Peru now. Okay, so next slide. We're in the boat now, and it's like a 5-10 minute boat ride to go to the other side. Really cheap. It's like 20 cents or whatever it is. Okay, really cheap. Yeah. So you go over to the other side, and Peru. So we went to Peru, and that's where our missions home is. So next slide. That's the missions home right here. So this is on the Peru side now, okay? And all the houses are on stilts because when the Amazon River rises, it can flood, okay? In fact, in high season, what happens is that to go from one house to another, you have to take a boat. Because it'll rise right up there, okay? And by the way, just to let you know, Karen lived there for about 1 month. 1 month before she came home. So the last part of her 5-year term in Brazil was here in the Amazon. So she can tell you about it because she lived there, okay? In fact, this is the house you lived in, right? Yeah, see? So here I took the picture when I was there. And, so it's not modern technology. There's no Wi-Fi in the house either, right? I mean, we're talking, so if you want to go on more of a hardcore mission trip, okay, Amazon here, okay? But this is just one part of the Amazon, okay? What's my next picture? I don't remember. Oh, yeah. You see where my left hand is pointing? It says an anaconda right there. Yeah. It's a baby one, 18 foot. A baby, 18-foot anaconda. Okay. They can grow up to almost 100 feet long. Yeah. And then also you can eat a piranha before it eats you. So although we don't promote eating on mission trips, honestly speaking, okay, I'm just gonna throw another plug for mission trips. I think going on a mission trip is the best way to see a country. Because when you go to a country, you go on a tour, they only show you the stuff that they want to show you, right? And a lot of it is propaganda. A lot of it is to take you through shops because they want you to buy, right? We all been to different tours like that, right? Regardless of the country, right? But on a missions trip, the locals will take you to the real places. And that includes even the best place to eat. And so Pastor Dora took me to this. Go back. Can you recognize that restaurant? Can you go back? It's kind of outdoorsy on the main strip. That's on the Colombia side. Yeah, I'm sure you have, okay, because they like this, okay? Yeah, the piranha, so good. It tastes like clean tilapia. Because tilapia is a bottom feeder, right? So you get all that sand stuff and all the mud and all that, right? You eat that because remember, they eat flesh. That's good stuff, right? Anyways, It's so I enjoyed it so much for lunch. I asked for it for dinner again. So we went to another place for dinner, but it's delicious piranha, right? But look at oh, you can't see it on this picture, but it's got this razor sharp teeth and everything, right? But anyways, yeah. But anyways, they that would be another experience. It's going to the Amazon, and you'll see like wildlife and all that. You'll see the indigenous people, and it's quite an experience, right? And you'll be able to go to 3 countries in one day with no visa, because crossing a river, they don't. Okay, let's see your visa. They don't do that, right? You just cross and you're going internationally. So that was on my first day. So I was in 4 countries. This is the first time in my life. I was in 4 countries in one day. United States, right? Because I left the United States. Then I landed in Colombia. Took me to a boat ride to Peru, and then from there another boat ride to Brazil. I was in 4 countries in one day, right? Yeah, and it's only like 5-10 minute boat ride for 20 cents or whatever. I don't know exactly how much. It was really cheap. Yeah. So, anyways, so that would be the second option. You only go to Amazon, or the third option is you go to both. You fly to Brazil. So Mohinhos is like going to New York, and then if you want to go to Amazon, it's like going to San Francisco. So you cross the country, okay? Because it really is like about 3.5, 4 hour flight, maybe 4 hours, 4 hour flight. So that's another option, is that you can do both, okay? So that, and the good thing about the trip is that you can do it one of 2 ways. It looks like Pastor Crystal, because she will be by then, will be taking whoever wants to go with her, or if the timing does not fit for you, because it's our own team there, whenever you want to go, let us know. Pastor Dora will pick you up whenever you want to go. Okay, so because we got a team in Amazon, we have many teams actually in the Brazil side. Okay, so that's the good thing about Brazil. Okay, we don't have to work with any other locals. We are the local. It's our church, right? And so you can do one, the other, or both. Sounds good? Okay.
All right. Last but not least, we have our San Francisco City Impact, and our team leader has been also in Brazil long term for over a year, and he's our youth pastor and also leading up our Haleiwa church. Let's give a welcome to Pastor Iz.
Right. So as you can see, there's a lot of ways to serve in San Francisco. There's many different places where our team will be going. So what's awesome is that there's a schedule. So some days we'll be helping out at a thrift store. Some days we'll be helping out at their rescue mission, where we'll be sitting down and feeding those that are hungry. We have a ministry that's called Adopt a Building, where we'll be taking boxes of food to people that live in their apartments that never come out. They just stay in there. We get to knock on doors, get to give them groceries and meals and feed them. And if you're kind of fearful about door knocking, this is a great opportunity, because we're actually going into areas that we already have relationship with. So it's not like a brand new cold door where they're going to slam the door in your face. They know that every day that they have people going to their doors delivering food, and so they're very open to conversations. It's very easy to pray with these people, to get a positive experience out of doing door knocking. We have a place where you can play games. So I should have put the picture up there, but there's a picture with me and I'm playing chess. Because at this TL Revive, it's basically like a social hangout. We take people off of the streets, we give them snacks, we sit down. There's art stations, craft stations, there's games. And so we just love on them, allow them to have something to do other than just hang out on the streets of San Francisco. They have church services on Sunday. They also have a school, as you saw. So being a part of this mission trip, you'll be able to interact with students, to be able to sit down, to mentor, to tutor, or just to hang out with the students. And so there's a lot of different ways. So there's a lot more than what we have here. This was about 2 years ago. And so now they have, it says 19 ways to serve in 2019. But since we're in 2020, I'll just give you one more. When you become a part of this trip, you get to be involved with our own church plant. You'll be able to get to see how to minister to our own youth. You can see how our children's ministries, or maybe you've never even been in the VIM classroom during the VIM hour. We'll give you guys the opportunity to see the children's ministry and to experience not only San Francisco, but to be this ministry. And so for short-term mission trips, I believe that our lives are changed and their lives are touched. So come out to San Francisco City Impact.
Thank you, Pastor Iz. All right, love that. All right, now for some logistic information. And Amy, if you could get that up there. And so logistically, well, first of all, everybody signed in and the application is in your hands and also the brochure, yeah? So just wanted to share with you that once you make a commitment to come to go on a mission trip, you're going to have to attend the missions training that we have. The dates are on the brochure and also up there. And so on top of that, everyone is expected to also attend specific team meetings as required by team leaders, yeah? Any kind of ministry type of meetings, you guys are going to meet together as well, okay? On top of these 3 basic missions training. Okay, and here are the trips and their costs. Again, it should be on your brochure. And also it kind of gave an approximate cost of the airfare right now, yeah, as it is right now. So Amy, would you lift it up? Amy, would you go up there? So Thailand, June 4th to 15th, we have cost is $900. That includes the food, lodging, transportation, and plus the airfare. Right now, the airfare is kind of on a high side. It's $1,200. So it is on a high side. Last year, I think it was, well, last year we went to different, we also went to Malaysia. So it's, but it's usually about $1,000, okay, for the airfare. But right now, for some reason, the airfares are quite high, yeah? So, so that's Thailand. San Francisco, $600. And then airfare is approximately $550 right now. And Brazil, Amazon, $400, and just based on like 8 days. And again, you know, we can customize that for you later. Airfare is approximately $2,000. Again, that's quite, you know, that's around there, quite high. And then the visa, a 10-year visa to go into Brazil is $350. Yes. Not anymore? Not only just for the Olympics, it's for, oh, awesome. Okay. Okay, I didn't know that. All right, so take that cost out, okay? No visa, okay? No need to have a visa, okay? So that's a big savings there, okay? So I know, you know, as we are planning this, we are not gonna do the airfare yet, okay? Especially with the coronavirus situation in China and also globally. We're gonna take a wait and see approach in terms of the airfare, okay? And we're gonna, you know, maybe possibly see what the situation is in March, April time, and then, you know, decide then about, you know, going to ticket and everything, yeah? So we'll keep a close eye out on the coronavirus. And if you don't know, you know, China, I think right now, overall globally, there's like 11,000 plus infected with the virus, and you know, it's spreading, and about over 170 deaths already, yeah? So we'll keep a close eye on that, and, you know, please pray for our supported missionaries, Mark Kwong, who's just got evacuated from Hainan Island in China, yeah? So they are in Thailand right now, okay? Mark Kwong and his family are in Thailand because of, you know, what's going on with the virus there. Also, please pray for, you know, before we have supported and we visited Pastor Wang in Wuhan. Yeah, remember Pastor Wang? And also the seminary there. And please pray for them. I sent an email. I didn't get a response yet that we're, praying for them. So just remember them in prayer, okay? All right, next, continue. Some logistic things here. U.S. passports, okay? For those who are going to, Thailand, also Brazil, Amazon, you have to have a passport, okay? A valid passport, and it has to be valid at least 6 months after your return date of travel, okay? So the passport for, if you don't have one, it costs $145, okay? And it'll take about 6 to 8 weeks, okay? So $145, so get it now if you don't have one, okay? Start applying for it now. And then if you want it expedited, for just within 3 weeks, then you got to add $60, okay? So visas are out. We don't need visas for Thailand. We don't need visas for Brazil now, okay? So definitely we don't need visas for San Francisco, okay? All right, missions trip costs. Again, the costs involve lodging, most meals, transportation, insurance, okay, for international trips are covered in that cost, okay? Now, again, you're advised to bring about $200 for your own spending money or for any kind of incidentals. And so, as you're planning your budget, yeah? And then Calvary members, like Pastor Terry says, will be subsidized $400 for total mission trip costs for international trips, $300 for domestic trips, okay? So $300 for San Francisco, and then $400 for Brazil and Thailand, okay? So you got to be a Calvary member, though, okay? If you're not a member, please see Pastor Terry, okay? All right. Wow, it really pays to be a member here. Yes, okay? Fundraising, okay? It's the responsibility of team members. We're not going to have a formal, official fundraiser for the teams, only because of tax purposes for the church. So fundraising is your responsibility. And if you're going to do fundraising on the premises of the church, like selling things, selling lunch, selling baked goods, please check with me first for the dates and everything so that we kind of make sure that doesn't conflict with anything else, okay? So in the past, we had group fundraisers such as plate lunches on Sundays, and we had car washes, swap meet sales, and turkey leg sale, and C-Bay auction. That was like eBay, but instead it's Calvary Bay auction. And then fundraise.com, that's another way some people use. And then some also sent out sponsorship letters, okay, asking friends and family to support them. And I have a sample letter in this orientation Google Doc here. And by the way, this Google Doc will be sent to you, okay? That's why I need your emails on your the sign-in sheet, okay? So I'll be sending this out to you as soon as probably in the next few days, okay? So you have all this information. Okay, so when you are asking for sponsorships from people, okay, make sure when they write a check to you, okay, it's payable to Calvary Assembly of God, okay? And also on the bottom memo, tell them not to write your name on it, okay? Just generic Calvary Assembly of God, an amount, and then give it to me so I can record down that you made a payment, and then I will give it to the treasurer, okay? And by the way, they will get tax deduction from it as well, okay, those who donated. So you can let them know that. And the letter, I have a sample there. And in the past, we had people who sent out the letters, and they got sponsorships, okay, from their friends and family. And there are some people that got full sponsorship, okay, from their friends and family, okay? And I mean, they helped them with the whole cost. So that's another avenue for fundraising, okay? And then vaccinations and shots, please see your doctor about that, okay? Please see them now already, especially, again, in light of what's happening globally with the virus. So see them about that, okay? Okay, continue. You can go online there that I have about the Center of Disease Control, so you can read more about that. Packing, because we want to be flexible and travel light, and we are asking everybody to just only one check-in baggage. Okay, that one check-in baggage is allowed, and 44 pounds, less than 44 pounds or less, or 20 kg is similar to 44 pounds. Okay, so just one check-in luggage, and only one carry-on will be allowed. And you're responsible to pay for the baggage fees, okay? For most international trips, that's, that should be included already. But for the domestic trips, San Francisco, you're gonna have to pay for that, yeah? Usually it's $30, okay? Again, we wanna travel light and be flexible where God will take us, okay? Homework and self-preparation, like Pastor Terry already mentioned, please read the Missions Power book and write one rhema for each chapter and why it's a rhema. So it's like a 1 or 2 page report, and it's due, I put down right now, March 14th. Is that okay? That's the second training, but subject to change. Okay. So if you already read it and done this, you don't need to do it, okay? But for those of you who haven't read it and did the book report, please do that, okay? So you can either get a signed copy from Pastor Terry directly for $15, okay? Right here, right now. And there's an e-book version from Amazon. Do you get a cut for that? Yeah, okay. Okay, or if you really, think, that cost is kind of, you can't pay that cost, you can always borrow a copy, okay? Prepare your personal testimony. There's a chance for you to share your testimony during the trip, so please prepare that. Practice sharing the gospel with people and attend corporate prayer meetings regularly. And please pray for your targeted city, plan for your finances, count the cost for the trip, and I'll kind of go over that real quick. And then also fill out the mission trip application, okay? So I have the application in your seats, and maybe by the first training, if you decide to go on a mission trip, please bring your completed application form, okay, to me. Okay, continue down there. Okay, here's a counting the cost covenant. And again, finances that you'll be able to pay for all expenses before the trip, okay? Not during or after, but before, okay, before you go. So we'll give you the deadlines for those. And also training attendance is mandatory pre-trip, okay? And if you need to be absent, you can't make it, please let me or Pastor Terry know, okay? Preparation and consistency, make this a mission trip a priority and point in your life, and prepare yourself spiritually, like what Makana mentioned earlier, spending quality time in prayer and fasting in the Word, and a consistent record of attending church. And if you have a cell group, hook up with a cell group, and corporate prayer meetings, that happens almost every day here, and tithing and giving to missions, okay? And also obtain your senior pastor's approval to go on a mission trip. Well, on the application, we'll be reviewing the application, and we'll be determining whether it's okay for you to attend, okay? Commit to pre- and post-trip ministries as a way to develop and foster a missionary lifestyle. And that's what Pastor Terry mentioned earlier, yeah? Okay? So this covenant, I have counted the costs and agreed to pay the costs, okay? So I'll ask you guys to sign that document. Okay, continue up, please. Okay, here's a sample sponsorship letter that we wrote, okay? So you can use that as a template, okay? Continue. And then continue up. Okay, here's the application. Okay, continue. It's very important that you fill out the application, especially like your password numbers and your expiration dates and everything. And also sign the release form, yeah, on the bottom. Okay, medical conditions and also release forms. Okay, and if you plan to bring a child, please let me know, and then we'll give you this as well, yeah? This is a permission form for those under 18, okay? Okay, that's it right there. Okay, all right. Do you have any questions in terms of logistics? Yes. Oh yeah, sure. That way, that's fine too. But if they want a tax deduction, then they can go to the church. If they give it to you personally, they won't get a tax deduction. But that's totally okay. To you, and then you cash it and you bring the cash to me. That's okay too. Okay? But the benefit of writing a check to Calvary is that they get tax deduction. Okay? Another question? Okay. If not, okay, our next training, our first training, our official training, would be February 15th in about 2 weeks, okay? And then a subsequent one in March and a subsequent one in April, okay? So please pray. Hopefully you would decide to go on a mission trip this year. And so bring your application during our first training on February 15th, okay? 9 o'clock to about 10:30, 11 o'clock, around there, okay, for the training. All right, if there's no other questions, we're going to end here. And we're going to ask Pastor Aaron if you could just close us with a word of prayer. All right.